What's up YouTube? Jeff Beck again from High on Android and DopeTechDaily.com, and today I'm bringing you guys a look at some of the gear I use to shoot my YouTube videos. Now the reason for this video is twofold. One, a lot of people have asked in the comments before, what do you use to shoot your YouTube videos? So I wanted to show you guys some of the equipment that I use for that reason. Secondly, I've teamed up with B&H Photo. You guys probably know them. They carry high-end audio and video photo equipment, pretty much anything. They carry a lot of phones and everything. Anything that you could want for photo and video especially at the professional level, they carry. So I've teamed up with them to be able to take a look at some of their products, some of their cameras, some of their phones that they carry, etc. So I figured what better way to kick off my partnership with them than to show you some of the products that I've purchased from them in the past. So B&H Photo is definitely a company that when I got started in YouTube last year, I purchased a lot of my audio and camera equipment that you'll see in this video from B&H Photo, and I'm going to link all of those products below in the description if you're interested in starting your own YouTube channel or you're just interested in picking any of these products up. So I'll have a lot of cool products coming from B&H Photo as we continue our partnership, but let's get into the stuff that I use for my YouTube videos today. So first of all, I'm shooting the video today with the RX100 Mark IV from Sony. That is the camera that I use now more often, but when I started, this was my main camera, and this is the Canon Rebel T3i. This is a very affordable DSLR that Canon has actually discontinued. BH doesn't actually carry it anymore because Canon doesn't make these anymore in their current production run. But this is a great intro DSLR. You can see it's got the flip out viewfinder. You got pretty much everything you need. You got a mount here for your mic, etc. This is a great starter camera if you're getting into YouTube and you want to just shoot some basic videos, especially if you're really into cinematography. You can get a lot of great lenses that'll work with this camera. I'll show you a few of the ones that I have in just a second. So I highly recommend the T3i. I'm going to do two parts to this sort of video series. The next one I'll give you an in-depth review of my T3i as well as the RX100 Mark IV. Obviously I'll have to shoot the video with a different camera because I want to show you all the features of the RX100 Mark IV, which some people asked for, so that's going to be coming up. So first, here's the camera that I use. I still use this on and off again, the Canon T3i, mainly for close-up type shots. I really want to get into the cinematography side of shooting some YouTube videos this year, so I'm going to bust out the Canon T3i more this year and sort of use it in conjunction with my RX100 Mark IV when I shoot these type of sit-down videos that I've really been doing for the most of my YouTube career so far. So that's the Canon T3i. I want to show you a couple of the lenses that I pair with it. So people ask what lenses I've used with the T3i. This is a pancake lens for the T3i. You've got the 24mm length, you've got f2.8 on this guy. Now this is a great compact lens if you just want to get some nice shots. You know, you want to be able to shoot some nice macro shots, but you don't necessarily want to carry around a really big art lens, which is the other lens I'm going to show you in a second. This is also a really affordable lens. When I got it, I think it was $159. I believe it's about $150 now over on B&H Photo. Max took some really nice shots, my good buddy Max Lee, over on one of his blogs. I believe it's called Photo Ravels. He just takes some pictures of his travels. It's nothing to do with tech, just a separate personal blog. I'll link that below if you want to check it out. He took some really nice pictures with this lens that sort of show the quality. And I've used this for quite a few videos. I also use this when I just want to take photos from my everyday life, some nice close-up shots. So this is the 24mm pancake. And then the big boy here, which I invested quite a bit of money in because I thought I was going to be the greatest cinematographer in the world when I started YouTube, but then I realized that might not be necessarily the way to go. This is the Sigma f1.8. This is the 18 to 35mm lens. You can see this is a huge lens. It's also very heavy. This is a very popular lens in the YouTube community. So when I first broke into YouTube, you know, since I have some money to spend, I was like, let me get this lens. And I definitely haven't put this lens to its full potential yet. So if you ask anybody, you know, from MKBHD, Kevin the Tech Ninja, any of the big YouTubers, some of my favorite YouTubers, even Max, recommend this lens. This is a great art lens. You can get some amazing shots. You can get some amazing bokeh with this lens. So I tried using it for a while, but when I'm doing these sit-down type videos, I really don't put this lens to its greatest use because this is great for macro shots where you're doing some cool panning, you got some nice lighting in the background. But I do plan on putting this to use. That's why I have not sold it yet. So I'm keeping this guy, and it works great with the Canon T3i. So instead of buying a super expensive camera itself, you buy this guy and the lens. The lens is expensive. This lens is about 800 bucks. But you buy this camera, I got it for 300 bucks, the body, and you invest in a lens like this, you're going to be set to go, because the lens with the camera is probably even just as good as buying a more expensive camera and then, you know, getting a really cheap lens. The lens itself, the glass, is super important. So again, I plan on using this setup more this year. I might even switch over to a 2-camera setup where I could incorporate this guy a little bit more with the RX100 Mark IV. So this is one of my cameras. Again, the RX100 Mark IV I'll talk about in a future video. Let's put the camera stuff to the side, and then let me get into the audio. So obviously, once I shoot the video, I've got to get some audio going. So I use a couple things for audio. So one of them you can see is recording right here. This is the Zoom H1. It's a fairly affordable portable audio recorder. It's 99 bucks, I believe 100 bucks on BH Photo. And this guy lets you record really high quality audio from a lav mic, run it into your Zoom H1, and you get really nice audio, much better than you would get out of a camera itself, much better than you would get out of just running your mic directly into the camera. It does a really nice job, and if you're going to do YouTube, you should definitely have a separate audio source from your camera and then sync those up in post-production, just because it makes everything nicer, gives you sort of a crisper, cleaner sound. Now my lav mic, which obviously I'm using right now, it's a really cheap lav mic that is actually from Amazon, so I won't show that off in this video. I actually plan on upgrading my audio setup, hopefully to a wireless lav mic from Sennheiser soon. That's definitely one of the things I want to test out from B&H Photo. So this is what I use when I'm shooting the video, actually sort of these sit-down type videos that I normally do. When I've done voiceovers, which I haven't done that many voiceovers yet, or when I've done podcasts for High on Android, I use this guy right here. So this is the Blue Yeti Blackout Edition. So you may have seen this from a couple different people. I believe Flossie Carter did a review of this guy as well. It's a really nice looking mic for which you can record voiceovers. You've got a monitor here for the gain. You can see you got a monitor here that lets you change the pattern, whether you want it, you know, omnidirectional, cardioid, etc., depending on if you're doing a voiceover, depending on if you're trying to do an interview, if you're doing a podcast, if you're Skyping with someone. This is just a really great mic to have, nice desktop mic, and it definitely is high quality. It's super heavy, and I record all of my audio for voiceovers using this guy. I also use it when I just Skype for business with the university, etc. This is a high quality mic for only about 110 bucks. I think the Blackout one might be even cheaper right now. I definitely recommend this guy. You can see right there, it's from Blue. So this is the Blue Yeti Blackout Edition. So that's what I use for my audio. And then once I've shot some video and audio, obviously I need to get it onto my computer and go ahead and edit the video. So a couple of things that I use that are integral to my setup when I'm actually editing the video is my LaCie Thunderbolt drive. So this is a 1 terabyte. I really need to get a 2 terabyte one or bigger. This is the LaCie Portable Thunderbolt drive. So I get nice high transfer speed to my iMac, which is the computer I use for editing. And this thing does really, really well. I need to really, again, get a bigger drive because it's filling up, but it's super fast. And again, it's not too expensive. I think they have it at BH Photo for about 180 bucks. You might be able to find it cheaper sometimes when it's on sale. I think it got it for a little bit cheaper than that. Overall, really solid, reliable drive that's super fast if you connect over Thunderbolt. They also make a version of this drive that's in USB 3.0 if you don't have the Thunderbolt connectivity. So I use this guy as my sort of scratch drive when I'm editing my video. I use Premiere Pro, I've mentioned that before. And then another thing I use for my editing, which I definitely recommend if you're going to edit video in Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro, this is the MX Master Mouse from Logitech. Now, it does have some annoying bugs, actually, when you use it with a Mac. I talked to Kevin the Tech Ninja on Twitter about this yesterday. He also had sort of a similar issue, and a few other people were chiming in with their issues. But when I've used this with my iMac and also my fully loaded MacBook Pro, I've had issues with this thing actually having some lag and also having some stuttering and also having some Bluetooth connectivity issues. But the thing is, at the end of the day, this thing is so customizable if you're editing with these various buttons here, the scroll wheel. The amount of editing and the speed at which you can edit with this mouse sort of makes it incomparable when it comes to any other mouse that you can get. So I've tried editing with the Apple Magic Mouse. I've tried a couple different other mice, and this one really is the one that's the most customizable for editing. And of course, Logitech sort of branded it that way. I wish they would fix some of the issues that it has with Mac, but some other people have said they don't have any, so maybe there's something I can change. I've done some research and I haven't found anything, so if you have this mouse and you know what maybe I can fix in order to get it to work perfectly with no lag on my iMac, let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it. So these are two things I use to actually go about doing the editing. And then the last thing here that I'll show you guys, sort of a weird thing to show off but it's something that I use a whole lot. This is my router. So you can see this is the OnHub router. This is the one from TP-Link. So you can see obviously my router is hooked up right now, so I didn't want to take it off. But this guy is really, really cool, and if you've seen any videos on it, you know that you can control all of this from your smartphone. You can get the app, plug it in, super easy setup. One of the things that's the coolest about this when I'm actually editing video is that the OnHub router itself has a way to prioritize devices. So let's see if I can show that. So you can see here, simply helpful, get the most from your Wi-Fi. You can get speedy downloads, and one of the ways that you can sort of help with that if you're exporting a video, or uploading a video rather, to YouTube, is you can set your computer to be a priority device for a given amount of time. So when I upload my video to YouTube, I set priority for my iMac on the OnHub router from my Note 5 on the app, and then I'm able to get faster upload speeds. It sort of prioritizes it over any other devices I may be using. So that way I don't have to worry about if other people in the house are using Wi-Fi, if I have guests, if I'm using my phone, the iMac's going to get the priority and I get a faster upload. Now it's not a huge difference, but it does make an appreciable difference. I've tested it versus my Airport Extreme, my Apple router, and the OnHub is actually quite a bit better when uploading videos, and I really, really enjoy that. All right, so that's my router. And then actually I forgot one last thing. I don't think I have had the chance to show them off in a video yet. These are the Xiaomi headphones that I bought last year when they started selling accessories in the US. They're really, really nice looking and also comfortable. And I actually use these when I'm monitoring audio for my YouTube videos. So when I'm editing in Adobe Premiere Pro, these are my monitoring headphones, and I really, really like them. I think they were in only maybe like 60 bucks or 70 bucks. I don't remember exactly, but they were really cheap. I bought a whole bunch of products when Xiaomi actually put their products online. So you can see there, these are the Mi headphones, 50mm beryllium drivers. And I love the gold look. You guys know I love gold. So this matches so well with my gold theme. All right, guys, so you've seen my camera. You've seen my monitoring headphones. Again, they're probably not the highest end monitoring headphones you're ever going to see, but they're pretty cool. I really like them. They work nicely for me. So you've seen a lot of my setup, my audio, how I shoot my video. I'm going to do a follow-up video on the RX100 Mark IV, so you'll get a chance to look at that. If anybody has any questions about my setup, feel free to drop a question below in the comments. You can check out me writing at High on Android and DopeTechDaily.com in the description. I'll also throw my Google Plus and Twitter links below in the description as well if you want to follow me over there. Also, don't forget to check out all the links to the stuff I use on B&H Photo. Those links are all in the description if you want to purchase something, or if you have a question, definitely ask me and I can try to answer it before you purchase. I really appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you would like and subscribe if you haven't already, I really, really appreciate that as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.